Casting has come a long way.
A long way.
Yeah.
We still have to learn how to do it by pencil and paper,
Good.
but yeah, we've advanced since then. And one of the advancements that we're talking about in the special that you've already seen is that new 7-day outlook.
Yeah.
Now, again, that is not a change to the track, so the cone is still 5 days out, but the outlook forecast now goes 7 days because the computers and the models have gotten better. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in our special tomorrow night. Again, we are watching a little wave down to our south, but it is nothing that is going to threaten us. We'll talk more about it in a bit. 86 degrees was our high today. We did have some more scattered thunderstorms around, which did help to cool things off a bit, as some of us were able to get in on some of that rainfall, and it at least did help to temper the temperatures a little bit during the midday and afternoon hours. On radar right now, most of our rain is gone. Had some decent little soaking showers that were on the west bank. They started to just kind of sit, and that had prompted an earlier aerial street flood advisory. We call it an aerial flood advisory, but a street flood advisory from that heavier rainfall. Rain there is now gone. Any additional standing water would likely be gone shortly. The only other rainfall that we do have around, kind of spotty in nature, down in the bayou parishes and along the coastline, and those are winding down. As we said, our high today was 86. Now at Kenner only really picked up, it's saying 0, picked up a trace of rainfall, but really no measurable rain. Morning lows were in the 60s, upper 60s, lower 70s, and generally 70s across most of us. Still under mostly cloudy skies out over downtown. Now at least with the rain nearby, again, no real measurable rain at Kenner, but with it close by, was able to drop us down to 78 degrees. Dew points mid upper 60s, so it is certainly feeling a little more humid, and humidity is a little higher because the temperature is closer to the dew point. Where we have had some of those scattered showers, or if nothing else, the cloud cover in the 70s, but look, just down the road, La Place is still at 89 degrees. Mid and upper 80s on the North Shore. We didn't have as much rain. Now, what was interesting is that the dew points did come down a bit. We had at a time in Bogalusa dew points in the upper 50s. They're still in the 50s in Macomb. Drier air got very, very close to us. Southern, central, southwestern Mississippi was about as far south as it got. This was called a backdoor, very weak cold front. It didn't really make much progress into southeast Louisiana, but we were able to get slightly cooler, or slightly drier, I should say, in our farther North Shore parishes. Oh, the focus on the tropics, again, is a non-tropical wave. This is a feature we have been talking about since late last week. We were expecting that this system would get into the Gulf, but above this is again nearer the surface, is where you have this little almost swirl trying to form. Above this is very strong wind shear. That's why you see the higher clouds kind of getting ripped away from that thunderstorm activity and sent farther to the north and east. Wind shear is going to play a huge role in this system, and the models are in agreement with that. The GFS kind of still showing that broad circulation, but really nothing ever organizing through the weekend and as we head towards Sunday night. Euro saying basically the same thing. Let's take a look at this. Again, kind of a broad circulation. Again, strong wind shear in the Gulf. Nothing really able to organize. Rainfall moving toward Florida, but as it exits into the Atlantic, maybe as it moves off the eastern seaboard, is something able to better organize. So the GFS is saying basically it dissipates. The Euro saying it'll dissipate, or at least stay unorganized, until it moves into the Atlantic. We'll see. Either way, nothing here. This is what I'm talking about. This is in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere. This is that big, broad upper trough, which is creating the strong wind shear and also introducing dry air. Gulf of Mexico right now is a very hostile environment. So we are not really going to see anything form from this. If we were to see any impacts, this system could, as it gets maybe a little closer to the north and the Gulf Coast, bring in a better chance of rain on Thursday. Spotty shower chances tomorrow. I do increase that rain chance on Thursday to maybe 30 or 40%. If anything, it's also going to increase our winds offshore, so expect a little bit rough go at it if you're going to be offshore boating, especially Thursday and into Friday. And by Friday, Saturday, that system will be moving further over Florida and into the Atlantic. So maybe a pickup of our rain chances on Thursday. Relatively dry but hot as we start the weekend. And then it does look like we'll get a little disturbance coming in from the west as we head into Sunday and early next week.